You know what it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
You know who it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Ode, Maurice,
Maurice, Ode.
black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy. It's the Black and Snurdy podcast with Ode and Maurice.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, it's been
1 week since you looked at me.
all right. Hi everyone. I'm Odie,
And I'm Maurice.
and you're listening to the Black and Sturdy podcast. And let me get my claps for not taking 10 minutes to get to there. Thank you. Give me my flowers.
You finally did it. You finally, after 28 of these episodes, after countless of hours, after doing this for over a year, you finally opened the show in a way that you should have been doing the entire time.
First of all, this is not my first time doing that.
I just said you've been doing it for 28 episodes.
It's not, but there are several episodes.
Over
if you
a year.
listen back,
Mm-hmm.
where I did get to the introduction expeditiously.
Sure.
Okay, and there are some where I got a bit sidetracked,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to say distracted because of you, and you knew, and you just kept going down the road and not telling me to turn off or park. So whose fault is it anyway?
I believe it's your fault. And yeah, since you're on this high horse, I would like to see how actually prepared you are.
I'm extremely
Now that
prepared.
you're feeling yourself.
I'm extremely prepared.
Cool. So then let's start this off with some questions. Yeah. You know, the thing we've been doing the last few weeks, starting each episode with some get to know you questions. You know.
Yes, we will.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
After a quick
Would you like me to vamp for you?
commercial break.
Would you like me to just talk while you scuttle on over there to get some questions? Good. Well, thank you, listeners, for listening to another episode of the Black and Snurdy podcast. Of course, we come here every week, you know, talk about life, pop culture, you know, mental health. Just we get into the shit, you know, and of course we have been experimenting the last few weeks with some, you know, icebreaker questions to sort of get to know the hosts, get to know who you're talking to, you know, get to feel each other out, because we've been friends for years at this point, and there are facets of each other that we, you know, could always, you know, get to understand, you know.
And I would like to understand what the best decision you ever made was.
The best decision that I ever made was getting that above. Okay, never mind.
Oh, you've woken up and chosen violence this whole episode, and I don't even think there's a little button pressed. We're not even 4 minutes in yet.
No, we're not. But no. I feel okay. So this is tough because maybe like 2-3 years ago, I would have said the best decision I ever made was moving to New York. Mm-hmm. But lately, I've been kind of feeling a little when it comes to New York. You know, it's like ever since the pandemic and a combination of that and me getting older has just sort of felt like this is no longer the city of gold, the city that never sleeps. You know, like it's more of just like, okay, well now there's just just a town with dog poop on the streets that I have to avoid. You know, it's just, you know, things are opening back up now.
Everything's fully opened up.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
As I found out last night when that's gonna be in my grinding, but let's just say, as a quick preview, if you're gonna talk to a stranger at a bar, please brush your teeth. have some mint on you, Listerine strips or something, you know?
Yes.
Because if your breath can be smelt from like 2 doors down, then you are doing it wrong. Anyhow, but I think the best decision that I ever made, I would say going to Howard.
Oh my God, twinsies!
Yeah.
That was what mine was this whole time.
Because I made a bunch of lifelong friends that I still keep in touch with. As a matter of fact, I'm planning a little birthday get together right now, and I think like of the 8 people that I plan on inviting, I think only 2 of them didn't. Well, 3 of them didn't go to Howard. Yeah. So I'm just like, my time was just amazing. I met so many good people. My education was valuable. The experience was just something that I will treasure forevermore. And I didn't get anybody pregnant, and I didn't get a STD. So, like, that's all net wins, you know? I didn't get my STD until after college, so... Click, media.
Oh my God, Mom. Dad,
Obviously.
I'm sorry.
Obviously.
If you're listening to
Obviously. I would never joke about an STI unless it's one of the ones that can be cured with.
And you had it, so I think you're allowed to joke
Yeah, of
about
course
something
I can.
you had.
I can joke about it.
Like, you know, you don't joke about things that you haven't experienced.
Look, sometimes when you go camping, you might not want to wear a sleeping bag. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that's true, but I think we get the reference.
Yeah. Sometimes when it's raining, it's
and
just
my
nice
favorite decision that I've ever made in my life was also to be a bison. HU.
You know.
Woot, woot, woot. Waving Howard hands.
Oh, before I deleted the apps, I matched with somebody who was also a graduate from Howard, and then like we were messaging for a little bit, and then she stopped, and I was just like, "How dare you? Like, you're a Howard graduate."
I feel like I want off camera or off mic.
Better.
I'm gonna ask you the person's name.
Okay.
Because I know someone that matched with you that went to Howard.
You do?
I do.
I think I know them too.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it after. But okay, so yes, favorite time of my life.
Oh, okay.
And
Did they go to another college?
no, they went to Howard.
No, I mean, like, did they go to Howard and then go to grad school at another college?
No, they did not. They did not go to grad school.
Okay. Did they talk about me?
Yes, they've mentioned you because they know that I know you, and like
Is this recent?
I think this happened about 20.
Why didn't we talk about this?
They actually just told me this within the last month or two. I feel like they might have mentioned it before, and I probably forgot. And
Are
then
they still in New York? Are they single?
yes and yes.
Well, I mean, obviously, clearly it didn't work out, but
I don't think that
also-
you guys ever really. You didn't. It wasn't a long conversation. It was like, hey, like HU, you know, and then you guys, neither of you really said much more.
But they're still single?
They are still single.
And they're still in New York?
They are still in New York.
Well, we will have this off-mic conversation.
They actually live very close to me.
This means that they live close to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not giving out details on where we live, but...
No, because we don't want stalkers.
Obviously.
We already know my situation.
Okay.
I
I want to learn more about this, actually, but we'll talk about this off-mic.
So, again, favorite thing, best decision I made was going to Howard. The contacts, the friendships, the memories. I would never trade them for the world, even like good and bad ones, whatever. Like, I know it's cliche to be like, oh, this brought you to where you are, but you know, there's a lot of things that were great. I feel like when I think about Howard, I never think really about any of the shitty times. It's like, and not even rose-colored glasses. I just feel like, in general, my time there was great.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because coming from very white schools.
PWI.
Yes, like all of my private schools were very, very white until high school, which got a little blacker. But still then facing like the issues of though there might be more black people in the location, you might not actually still be getting like better treatment, even though it's a Christian school. Because there were plenty of people that were getting special treatment that were not doing jack shit. So I would say Howard in general. It gave me a lot of tools, a lot of great connections, a lot of friends that I love dearly. So that's my vote. And I actually just talked to a prospective bison. She got in. Mm-hmm. She wants to do school B. We were talking today, and I was giving her some information. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that we have another little bison to visit on homecoming when we go for our 10 year this year.
Baby bison. First off, it's been our 10 year for the last 3 years, it feels like. So,
but we're definitely going.
We're definitely going this year. Mark that in your calendars. We're going, and you know everything's opening back up.
Oh, we need to get a hotel now.
Oh,
we have to book one. Like tomorrow.
Yeah, like
Booking.com has a free cancellation.
So I just got my tax return. And you know, we'll have compensation talks at work and everything like that. Once I know what my budget is for the rest of the year, you better believe that I'm going to Howard homecoming. Like, cause there's gonna be so many.
We're going double cheeked up and double masked. I will. I don't know about you, but
what do you mean double cheeked up?
You know, like double cheeked up on a Thursday.
We're gonna be wearing Spanx? Like, what do you mean?
What are you doing?
Double cheeked up. When you say double cheeks, those are the cheeks that I'm thinking about. What are you talking about?
Have you?
What do you mean?
Oh, God.
Explain yourself.
Have you not seen that, like, TikTok
Reels
Odie, thing where the guy's like, you just sitting, the audio is like, oh, you just double cheeked up on a Thursday?
No.
Odie, go look it up.
Odie, if you've ever said the phrase, have you ever seen that meme or have you ever seen that TikTok? Chances are I've never seen it. It
comes on Instagram just randomly.
So many fucking TikToks.
It just randomly comes up.
I'm still trying to catch up on watching fucking TV and catching up on all my shows. Oh. Okay?
I'm going to play it.
Snowfall just came out. Like, it's good.
I'm not going to play it, actually. I'm going to send you the link.
So God. All right. What's the next question?
Look at it. All right.
And the next question is, enough with the TikTok. Look at the card.
What's your favorite way to waste time?
Okay.
Oh my God. Do you need to take a break? Because this is...
No, I'm
steering the ship.
As you driving the boat.
Yes.
As I've been getting older, I've been enjoying, and maybe this is also a habit of working from home. I've been enjoying naps, like just enjoying just being in sleep. Although I've been having fucking nightmares. Ugh, I told you about the nightmare that I had the other day.
You did.
Yeah, but I just, you know, I like a good siesta. I like just like
I don't know what you're
my
going
ass
to do
on the couch
when there are people. Biden told us we need to get back in the office to bring people back to what's it feel to be an American.
Biden can suck these nuts. Like I don't like. Well, you know, again, depending on how things shake out in the next few weeks, it might be a matter of getting back into an office. We'll see. We'll see how things play out. But yeah, I do like naps, man. I feel energized afterwards. I feel refreshed. You know, I feel like everybody should be allowed to take like a 20-minute nap.
Can I tell
in the middle of the day? You know, just a quick power nap. Yeah, it's not long enough to enter a REM sleep, but it's long enough to wake up and feel refreshed.
I don't ever feel refreshed from naps unless they're like 2.5 hours to 3 hours long.
Well, that makes sense. You have to like work up the energy and strength within your sleep to fucking snore. So I get that. So that makes a lot of sense. Like it's a process. Like you can't possibly have enough time to adjust your body faculties in order to, you know, chortle out of your nose.
First of all, fuck you. I have sleep apnea, okay? I can't help that I snore. I have a freaking whatever. I need one of those little machines, and I need to get one. Now that once I get insurance, I'm getting one.
Odie, you don't need any more things.
I need it. The doctor told
me. I feel comfortable in saying this. You don't need to own any more things. You need to give shit away. if anything. But you don't need any more devices. You don't need any more books. You don't need any more clothes. You don't need anything else entering into your domicile other than food and necessary toiletries, like just everyday.
I do
whatever.
need a sleep apnea machine because that's what makes sure that you don't die in your sleep one day.
Odie, you're 32 years old. You've been doing a really good job of not dying in your sleep. You've also been doing a really good job of just creating nostril havoc with the airwaves with your snort. Okay.
Well, now that you've gotten to do your bi-hourly insult of me,
This might be the episode, like, where that's all I do. It's just
anyway,
coming at ya.
my favorite way to waste time. Oh gosh,
You did have a
I
lot
did.
of time. To
I was thinking about what you were saying.
think. Okay, well,
I wouldn't say books because I don't feel like that's a waste of time.
fair. That's fair.
Maybe, well, I do like scrolling media. I do like scrolling social media. I
maybe
like
social
scrolling
media.
Twitter and
Yeah.
TikToks
Because
and
you can get
things.
lost in those things.
Oof. I sure can. And
Yeah.
there's always something to tickle my fancy.
Yes,
My
there
Gemini.
is. Yes, there is.
My Gemini,
You wanna-
Sun and Mercury are like, ooh, information.
So now we're blaming it on the stars.
It's not a blame. This is just a piece of my personality.
Okay.
Because I am someone who very much
Okay.
loves information.
Yes, you do.
Someone called me nosy today, and I said, I'm not nosy. I am curious. It's a difference.
But you are nosy.
I am not nosy. I
Actually,
feel like
you know what? You're right. Yeah, I wouldn't call you nosy. You're definitely
I'm curious. 'Cause this is my difference.
You would be a
between-
cat, and you would have died 8 times.
My difference between curiosity and nosiness is that when you are nosy, you want that information so you can gossip about people. I have no desire to gossip. I'm just curious about what's going on in people's lives. If I saw somebody, like, okay, the conversation about my being nosy came up because they made a joke. We were talking about something, and they made a joke about me being in jail and how I would get beat up extremely quick the moment I came in there. And I said, yeah, I know. That's why I know jail's not for me, because I would be just very curious, asking a lot of questions, and I would get beat up every day.
Now all I can think of is just you in an orange suit. Like, I wish...
Just the simplest thing, like, oh, your hair looks nice today. Who did that for you? Boom, beat up.
Odie is the new black.
No.
Just seeing you
That would be the worst. Like,
in a women's prison. You would get your ass kicked. So I would too. I would get my ass
There's
kicked.
no way. I'm not made for
Not
it.
even because I'm nosy. It's just because I'm small. You know, like
Well, I think that there are people
I get
who either love me or they absolutely detest my presence, and that has not anything to do with any sort of interaction we've had. People, like I told you, I have people tell me that they don't like me because I'm too happy, and they do not believe that anyone can be that happy. It has to be fake, and that is just they didn't even have to talk to me to feel like that. That's just it. So what am I supposed to do in a prison if I still have some joy in myself?
you're getting shanked on the daily.
I'm not. I wouldn't. I would put no. Well, don't put in solitary confinement.
My only hope is that you find a way to learn very quickly how to make toilet wine and make that a commodity.
And ramen. I need a lot of ramen.
Toilet ramen?
Did you not see Inventing Anna?
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about the show real quick? Like, I'm sorry, but like, why did anybody get invested in her? You know, because she's not charming. She was just like a fucking bully in a plain Jane ass.
And she wasn't even like attractive. She didn't even look like Heidi
I'm trying
Klum.
to build something. Like,
I don't
shut
have
the fuck
time.
up.
I don't have time for you. God. All right.
You know, and you know what I was thinking about with that show?
What?
She is basic. Like, she was the
female version of the Tinder swindler?
No, she's just a white dude.
Yes.
She's just a white dude. Like,
That's the only
there's
reason-
nothing remarkable or impressive about her other than the fact that she just lied. You know, she lied hard And it wasn't even it wasn't even convincing lies, because her accent was all over the place.
Oh, first of all, my cousins are German. And I've told you how I was so outraged through the whole entire time because legitimately, I thought that before we saw her passport, I thought we were going to find out that she was actually from like Wisconsin and just had been faking this accent, especially because of that point in the movie where like the guy was talking to her in Russian, I think, and she was pretending not to know what he said. So I was like, oh, maybe she's actually not from... Oh, uh-huh. Yep.
I didn't know it had the sound on because I gave you the phone and you decided, hey, I'm going to put the sound on for the Chihuahua video.
I did not. You gave me the Chihuahua video.
Oh, another fly.
Is that the same one?
No, it's not because this one looks like it's emaciated. So
well,
the other one
the
looked like it was
Myers
well fed.
Is over there. I killed it. Its mate is now here to try to get revenge.
It's fine.
Anyway.
Yeah. What's the next question? Or the last question?
I already know this answer for you anyway, but I'm going to have you, I want you to say it.
Sure.
Which pets have you treasured?
Oh, sweetie. Oh.
Not the singer.
No, not sweetie. I had a Rottweiler puppy named Sweetie. And I had her from the summer to the winter. She was the first pet that I ever owned. My mom finally let us have a dog. I would wake up in the morning. I'd let her out in the yard. I'd pick up her shit, and I'd just play with her. You know what? She is the first and last dog that I allowed to sleep at the foot of my bed. Like, I will never have... If I get another dog, I will never allow any dog sleep in the bed. Just for just for practical sanitary reasons, and B, because like no one was as much of a good old dog as Sweetie was, but she was stolen. It was right around Christmas. Fresh snow. Like, I let her out to go outside. I went out to go get her. She was gone. I went and I saw that the gate was open and there were foot tracks that showed that somebody went up to the gate and opened the door.
Because she was such a sweetie.
Yeah.
She just went right with them.
Yeah. And then a year later, my mom got another dog, Jazzy, who, I grew to appreciate Jazzy. So, whatever. But either way, Sweetie was and will always be my dog, Even now, as I live in this big-ass apartment by myself, I'm like, I would like another dog, and I would want a Rottweiler, and I want a Rottweiler puppy. I want to raise them. I'm not going to call them Sweetie.
What about Sweet Tums?
No, it'd be too close.
Sugar.
I might call him Sugar. Okay. I might call him Sugar. Yeah.
Maybe they have a little white patch on them.
Oh my God! See, don't.
Sorry.
We'll see how the next few months shape out as far as compensation and jobs and stuff. We'll see, because that's really the big marker for it. Like, I'm not gonna get a dog if I can't afford a dog.
Dogs are expensive.
Dogs are expensive, and I would want to be able to like care for them. But it would just be nice to like have a little pitter patter of footsteps around my apartment. Like do. God. All right. What about you? What's your answer?
Oh, I will say that I've probably treasured I have treasured every single one of my pets. I've had a lot in my life. Let's see. Well, oh man. There's so many. Effie and Beethoven, because they were my first pets. Effie was the cat.
Beethoven was the dog.
Beethoven was the dog.
Really just...
I was 5. And Beethoven movie just came out.
The movie, yeah.
And we got the dog, even though he was not a Saint... Well, she was not a Saint Bernard. We just said Beethoven. She was just a mutt. She was just everything.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know she was a she. We thought she was a boy. I thought that Beethoven was gay because she was having sex with all these boy dogs. That just think about the household that I was raised in. That I saw this boy.
I often think about the household that you were raised in.
I saw what I
like,
assumed
what created
was this boy dog having sex with all these other boy dogs because they were coming at we were seeing them come after her like it was constant, right? And so I was like, oh, Beethoven's gay. That was it. We were all like, oh, Beethoven's gay. Me and my sister and my cousin. That was it. We didn't have any other questions. It was just like, oh, all right, cool. And then my mom was like, they're not gay.
You didn't question.
I was 5. Reminder.
Okay.
So no, I didn't question anything. I just knew that.
Did you ever walk the dog and notice that it sat down to
No, I was 5. I didn't pay attention to those things. All I knew is they told us that she was a boy. When the dogs started having sex with her, I was like, well, she's a boy. Well, at the time, he's a boy. I know that boys who have sex with boys are gay.
It's just so much more about your household that you could wrap your head around the concept of homosexuality, but no one in your household could correct you that a dog was a different gender than what you assumed.
Well, it wasn't like my mom or my nana they weren't looking
it's a girl
at
dog.
the dog.
It's one sentence.
But they weren't looking. We weren't having these conversations. Why are you going so deep into this? We weren't having conversations about
to not know
the
that
dog.
Something is a boy or a girl.
We got the dog from my aunt.
They never laid on their back, and did you never scratch their belly?
You're asking me questions as if at 5 years old I was literally scanning the dog.
I'm questioning your household, including your household. No one.
I'm not
no one in the house was like, this is a. Everyone just collectively agreed that it was a boy.
We're not taking care of the dog or doing anything with the dog. And who the fuck knows? They could have been telling us that this was a girl dog the whole time and we weren't listening, or whatever the case that kids do when you're talking to them. But all I know is we got her, and a month or 2 after we got her, she was outside and the dogs were having sex with her, and we assumed she was gay. Do you need me to write you a thesis on the possibility of why I wasn't aware that she was a dog that was a boy versus a girl? Do I need to do that for you to feel okay?
Kinda something like I just want to understand, Odie. I just want to understand. Look, we have a light week worth of news and stuff to cover. Okay, so I'm just.
So you're just terrorizing me for this?
No, I'm not terrorizing you for the sake of it.
What it feels like.
Well, I'll lean back.
Thank you.
Call me Terror Squad.
All right. Goodbye. Wow. We shut it down.
We don't
shutting
dance.
it down.
We just pull up.
We're moving forward.
Do the rock away.
To pop culture, which is our next segment. All right. So welcome back to the pop culture section.
We didn't go anywhere.
And I'm not even going to dignify anything that this person across from me says with a response, because we have a lot of interesting things to talk about. Some of them good, some of them bad, some of them very heavy.
Right. So what do you want to start with? Can we get the heavy stuff out of the way so that
all right,
we could start we can end on something light, you know?
We shall try. Okay, well, one, we're sending a rest in power, rest in peace to the Good Times actor Johnny Brown. He passed away this week, and he was of a very seasoned age of 84. It's seasoned, but we always, even when people are in their 80s and 90s, like, you wish that they could have had 5 more years, 10 more years. I'm sure his family and all of his loved ones wish they could have had 84 more years with him, and I completely agree. And so we're saying rest in power to him. He was a great actor. He was in so many iconic shows, and he played in a lot of he had a lot of parts in different films and things throughout the years. So sending lots of love to him and his family.
Yeah, agreed. No, I agree.
Did you not have something to play?
I did, but it took too long to load. It was gonna be to anytime we talk about. I thought that would last a little bit longer, but yeah. But yeah, that's on me. I didn't queue it up, so it's fine.
Well, we're still. Thank you for.
Yes, rest in power.
Okay, and sorry. Wow. There's some other things obviously going on in the world that are very difficult and dark. So we're just getting into it. Just, brace yourselves. One, this war that's currently happening in the Ukraine. It's been terrible. Today, there's been lots of news. President Zelensky has been, of course, continuing his request for planes and for there to be a no-fly zone. The NATO countries are trained up and gearing up. There are a lot of international recruits. I will say that we are going to have to monitor the people who are going to the Ukraine to fight, the Soviets or whatever they're saying. That's what people are saying. They're going there to fight the Soviets and to fight Russia. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I feel like we really are going to need to be mindful of is the fact that a lot of these people, or a portion of these people that are going there, are far-righters who are really just interested in getting weapons training and further contacts to create shenanigans across the world. So it's like, yes, great that you're looping in, but like when you think about people who are going to purposely join a fight like that and purposely put themselves in harm's way, those are not people that you necessarily are like.
But okay,
wait. Let me backtrack. There are people that are going to righteously fight for better because that's what a lot of people do. We volunteer all the time to help, right? But we have to think about there are people who are gung-ho to go there. They don't care about the Ukrainians. They only care about fighting and getting guns and shooting people. And those are the people that when they get to a place will be doing all those different war crimes because they're so drunk on this power because they've been playing Call of Duty for all their life and now they're trying to finally, get it in real life. So I think we just have to be very mindful of that.
I agree with you. I agree, but I don't see this country as being the ones being mindful of it because we're not. For as long as we've been going to war, there have been we don't care about our soldiers. We don't take care of them afterwards. So why the fuck are we gonna do our due diligence? Oof. I was about to say that weirdly enough, police officers do more due diligence when it comes to hiring other police officers than the actual military does.
Okay.
No, and that's only because I know a number of mall security people who didn't pass the psychological exam to be police officers.
But they got into the military.
They got into the military.
Yeah.
Exactly. They were in the military. They couldn't be cops because they couldn't pass the fucking psychological exam.
Yeah. Well, it's the war.
And now they're just fucking waving a flashlight around and.
Well, as much as I would like there to be a lot of people
stalking around on the ends,
going over there to fight for the point of good and to help the people, that unfortunately is not the case. But I think that more people are going to continue to go, both righteous and not righteous, for not righteous and righteous reasons and non-righteous reasons. But today I saw a very unfortunate video of the civilians who were killed by a rocket. It was a mom. I think it said parents and their two kids but like it was just very disturbing, of course. And it just reminded me of like, one of the things that got Americans okay with going into the war for World War II were the images coming out of the concentration camps. Because before people saw those, they knew that the war was happening. They knew like what the reasonings were kind of behind it, but it was one of those made like, out of sight, out of mind. Similar to what was happening like with the Civil War. One thing that got a lot of people to be abolitionists were essays and stories like what is it called? Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Stories like that were like describing slavery to people and the horrors of it, and so it got people behind. So on one hand, I do believe that one of the great points of media and why it's called, the Fifth Estate or whatever, is that you get the ability to tell people like, this is like, you should care, of course, but like, here's evidence of why. Here are receipts of why you should care. But I feel like, could we not do that I don't know if seeing dead bodies on the front page of children, especially, is helping anybody, because that's just a horrible image for anyone to have to see. And I wonder, like, if those families want their, who knows, if they want their families shown like that. Because on one hand, Emmett Till's mother told them, keep the casket open because I want them to see what they did to my baby. So perhaps some of these people want just their family to be shown, but we wouldn't know that, and you're not getting freaking media releases from people in the midst of war. So I feel like that's been a lot, but I'm just hoping, in hopes of hopes, that there are more talks this week that allow for peace to happen, because they were supposed to have a ceasefire so that people could exit. And like today, Mariupol, one of the areas in Ukraine, they had to halt the evacuation of civilians because the shelling was just continuing. So that's just, it's a continued unfortunate situation that I'm hoping does not continue to escalate.
Right. Thoughts and prayers, man. Thoughts and prayers.
And then to add insult to injury, did you hear about Brittany Griner?
No, please tell me.
So, Brittany Griner, a.k.a., I'm not going to say that, but she's very popular in the NBA.
Okay.
She's very attractive. WNBA, sorry. Very attractive. Great player. She's a very popular star of the WNBA. Mm-hmm. She just got married recently. Maybe not recently, but she's recently married. Beautiful wife, beautiful family, etc. Mm-hmm. She was in Russia, and on her way to leave Russia, they said that the airport dogs, these drug sniffing dogs, smelled cannabis in her trunk, and that caused them to look through it. They found hashish oil, which is like a vape. Mm-hmm. They collected it. She's been there for 3 weeks, and we only found out this past week. She's been there for 3 weeks, detained by them. No clue of what sort of conditions that she's been detained in. But the fact that she is a black woman who's also queer, and Russia has some of the worst LGBTQ laws.
Yes, agreed.
In the world.
Yes.
Which is why they have constantly had, protests around the world of the people there who were.
Do you know, did they say why she was there?
I believe she was playing basketball.
Okay. Well.
But unfortunately, I don't know if you know much about the NBA, the WNBA and its pay structure, but some of these women, even if they're the stars on the team,
they don't make that much.
The cap, I think, is like, I edited a story a few years ago where they said that the cap was like maybe 120. Shout out to Paulana Lamonier.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe like 350,000.
No, she did a lot of great investigation on that, and she profiled several women and they were not making. It was like high 100s, not even to 2. For them to be, a lot of them have second jobs, because you can't. It's not like there are sometimes men in the NBA, even if you're on the bench, might make more than a woman who's a star player on a star team that's winning championships. Mm-hmm. But you could be on the Knicks and haven't won anything in however long, do nothing, barely even suit up, and make more than a woman like Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
So, of course, they have to, WNBA players, like, have to have another job, another source of income, whether that's playing internationally on these international teams or having their own personal businesses. So she was there working. Now, there are people who've been asking all these different questions. Why did she have the weed? Why didn't she just get someone else to carry it and all that stuff? Like, those questions, we could ask them, but the main thing we have to be concerned about is this black woman in another in a communist country that is already having issues with America, is she safe? Is she being taken care of? Are all the Geneva Convention things? I mean, I know that's for war, but in general, like, are things being taken care of? Because there's just been so much hostility over the upcoming months leading us up to the war in Ukraine between Russia and America that I'm worried now that the Ukraine and Russia are in this war, or Russia has set a war on Ukraine, that because America has been spearheading all of these sanctions and things, that they're going to possibly try to make this, Russia may try to make this into an international incident. And in the situation, like, remember when that white guy was in North Korea and he stole that painting from the hotel?
Right.
And they were trying to get him back and all that. Like, even though I thought, my thoughts on that are very different than my thoughts on Brittany Griner. But that situation could have easily become an international incident, and that was not even a time of war. It was just a time of tension. And so now it's like, bless you.
Thank you.
What's going to happen? Mostly, is she okay?
Yeah.
Her wife put out a statement today, like, that she's obviously very upset, sad, etc. But it's just, it's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
No, it's crazy. It's a lot. Like, I really hope that she's okay. Hopefully, we can get her back.
Yeah.
She can get back home soon. Yeah, man, like, that's rough. Like, to be held captive in another country, in jail 3 weeks, and now there's also a war going on in said country or around surrounding said country. Like, it's, oof, man, oh man. Well,
I mean, she's not the first, the only basketball player to have been, like, stuck over there in recent weeks. She's that guy Maurice Cheeks.
Yeah, like, I would hate to be stuck anywhere. You
know
what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like,
but just being like, I mean, it just shows how it's interesting.
Have you ever seen that movie, The Terminal?
Yes. Have you ever seen that movie, Broke Down Palace?
No.
Well, that's a worse situation than The Terminal.
Yes, it is. The Terminal was a nightmare.
Well, Broke Down Palace.
I mean, it was supposed to be, like, delightful, and it was like, hey, like, I'm falling in love, like, or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm getting to know all the people who work at the airport, but, like,
being stuck anywhere is terrible.
Yeah, being stuck anywhere that's not your actual home is terrible. Yeah. And that movie is terrible. Sorry, Tom Hanks. This is me coming after you for making that awful movie. But it's a terrible situation.
Yeah, and we already have, like, there's lots of racism that's going on there.
Yes.
In that area right now with the Black students who are not being able to leave the Ukraine, or, they're trying to keep them there. And now this. So we just, on all sides, we want our Black people to be safe, to be secure, and to be healthy. So sending all the positive vibes to her.
Yeah. So what's next?
Did you watch the State of the Union?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
Like, it, yeah.
Well, a lot of people saw it, and apparently Biden's approval rate has jumped up 47% after. Some of these things, I don't know how, because most of the people are like, because of the way he's handling this Russia-Ukraine situation. I only feel like people think that because they are stupid and don't understand world history and or how a lot of these countries work. Not to say, like, the sanctions on Russia.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, if we're trying to stop somebody, usually cutting off the money might help. However, the people of Russia are not the people who started or are continuing this war.
Yeah.
Majority of the people in Russia. Now, of course, you have the people in the Russian military who are carrying out orders. So take the people in the military out of it. Everyday civilians who are living in Russia, one, they're protesting every day, which in Russia is like, you think protesting here is scary? Protesting there, you can be disappeared to Siberia real quick. And every day they're out there.
In a gulag or something.
Yeah. I was reading these messages that people were saying that even if they hadn't even posted anything related to the Ukraine's anything. And a journalist was saying one of their friends got basically stopped by the secret police or whatever and was like, I heard you talking about you have issues with the war. And this is them never even posting. Perhaps they've been talking in their home. But, like, you have to think the way they don't live in a democracy. We barely do. But, like, there it's very stressful and scary to be protesting things.
Yeah.
And so the people of Russia are not the ones who are causing the problem, but they're the ones who are bearing the brunt of sanctions. Like, Netflix, you can't use Netflix. You can't use Apple Pay. You can't use
the WWE network.
Just think, and even if someone says, oh, Netflix, no big deal. But just imagine you're in a country that you're going to war. Mm-hmm. You probably in Russia right now, people are not prospering. Like, it is still very much a lot of people in poverty who are trying to get out and can't flee. People have been trying, but they can't flee the country, even though now they're talking about martial law being implemented because people can't just up and leave. Even if you don't live in one of those big cities, you're in the villages. There's not a lot of good information. All you know is now every single part of your life that you could be using to cope in times of war have been shut off. You don't have access to any money. If you can't get into the banks. And I'm just curious as to at what point are we going to rethink the strategies that worked during World War I, World War II, stuff like that are not going to work now. One, the sanctions don't hurt Putin. You have to get to, like, the oligarchs who they may not be having political power, but they have power in the sense that they have connections to Putin. If those oligarchs say, yeah, we're not down for this war, we're losing too much money in whatever the case may be, then you would have a chance of probably talking to him in reason. But I think that Americans who are saying, oh, this is a great way to act towards the war, especially if they're talking about going there to fight, are confused about who Russia is. And my understanding of Russia, even with the I would say I probably only know maybe even 10 to 20% of Russian history. But all I know is that they're fucking about that life. Number one, they have lived generations in, like, harsher conditions that any American has. Yeah. So they're
like they're prepared for the shits, like they're prepared to go without, to fucking breadline this shit, The
Soviet Union only ended, what was that?
In the 80s.
In the 80s. Right? We never have had. We talk about fascism, and not to say that there are not things that have happened in the U.S. that are close to fascism and that are super, like, anti-democratic and all that, but we are pampered babies.
Yeah, we are.
And we don't really understand Putin also. he is like a totally different breed of dictator. And he's also really wealthy. I don't think that he cares if any Russians in his population starve to death.
No.
Because the predecessors didn't, when all those theories about people eating each other in the, during these situations where there was no food and what were people going to, like, there are so many, you could find books and things about people discussing what were people doing when the Soviet Union and the USSR, when they didn't have any foods, like, the shit was scary. So I just feel like we need to, like, the State of the Union to me, with the Ukraine situation, it was, he gave a very good Captain America speech. Yeah. But it was not something useful. Yeah. And also, the police need to be funded, not defunded.
Yeah, I saw that. That bullshit.
Which is completely different from his campaign.
Yeah.
We know that. With no mention of student loans, but we can go to war. Of course, we can fund fucking police officers in the billions or whatever amount, but we cannot take out the student loans because that's going to cripple the economy. As if the budget for the military and the budget for the police and all these things that we don't use, for real, you want fucking police to have the robot dogs from Black Mirror.
Yeah, I'll never understand why the 34th Street train station has, like, police officers with AK-47s guarding that one Wells Fargo ATM. I'll never understand why that is the case. I don't get it.
They get money and they don't use it for actual training, actual, like, mindfulness workshops. They get toys. They get toys that they barely know how to use, and then they just fucking blowing people up and other bullshit. Like, for the State of the Union, I gave him a C. There are some things he said that made sense. There were some things that I felt don't really make sense. And I'm sure once you dig into all the promises that he made, there are going to be a lot of loopholes. I feel like, he definitely was catering to the right. He was trying to cater to both sides. But the talking about, immigration and building America back, whatever stupid bullshit. It was a tough hour. It really wasn't that great, and I don't want to have to hear about funding the police ever again. So, yeah.
I'm still of the mindset that, like, the one tweak that feels like it could be easy to make is just say, like, the way that most jobs say, hey, like, if you want to do this job, you need a college degree. Like, just say, hey, if you want to be a police officer, you need a college degree. Like, if you just make that one tweak, how much different police would be?
Well, I think that, and I'm going to play devil's
Probably
advocate.
Cut down on the fucking domestic abuse.
I'm going to play devil's advocate with you. And I know the devil doesn't need an advocate. But there are plenty of people who are college educated who are absolute dipshits.
Well, yeah.
And terrible people.
Look at me.
So I think that it's a mixture of, it's not just, okay, going to college. It's like, are you taking criminal justice plus psychology and sociology plus like a multicultural, like, you have to be having
but
people
something more than like a 10-week fucking course of something,
and so many other.
We're gonna give you $42,000 a year starting, not including overtime and bonus.
I
or whatever
have
like
friends who are police officers now, and like,
because you could jump over a wall and you dotted the right Scantron.
They're from
bubbles.
Long Island, like I am, and they asked when they were placed in the city, I think in Harlem, they asked if they could go somewhere else so that they could be placed in a different, I guess, less black, dangerous neighborhood.
Your friend?
It's a friend from high school.
Okay.
And they asked to be put in a different place. Now, these are the things. There are plenty of people who are raised on Long Island who associate the city with this like fucking Mad Max danger-filled place when it's nothing like that. It's really no different than really being in the suburbs. Crazier shit was happening out there. You just don't really hear about it or see it as much, or you don't have a subway to like give you a full spectrum of the human experience in that same way. But that's the type of people that are and he's not a bad person. He's also not white, but he has a fear of whatever. He has an apprehension of working in a neighborhood where there's a bunch of black and brown people that he has whatever preconceived notions about. Now take a white person who has that same mentality, you put them in the police force, those are the ones who are shooting people because they're just like, ooh. And they come to you if you live in Long Island and you work in the city, you're making way more money. If you work in Lindenhurst as a police officer, you might make $40,000 to $50,000 a year. If you're working in Harlem, you might make $65,000, for the whatever that little jump is. But then you have people in the neighborhoods who really don't care or don't know anything about the culture or whatever like that, who are now policing. And not to say that, community policing is the way to go, because that doesn't always help either. But as I said, I say all the time, I am completely an abolitionist. So if it was my choice, we would not have these police at all. We would have figured out a way to get the resources in the community that we don't need them. And we have all the funds like for whatever restorative justice that we are going to be doing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I know for sure the answer is not to give them more money. So Joe Biden, do better. All right. I sent you a video.
Yes, you did.
I did.
You did send me a video.
And it is about the Kanye West situation has continued to escalate. Kim Kardashian got approved to be considered single by the LA courts. It's not a divorce, but it's like, if I'm understanding it clearly enough, it's like if she wanted to get married again, like technically she's just not married to him in a way, but she still has to get the full divorce. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of legal jargon that I was reading that I'm not sure I completely understood, but a lot of people have been thinking the situation is really funny. They've been kikiing it up about it. I've seen a lot of guys like, oh, y'all girls always want somebody to do this for you, and then you do, and you don't like it. But if he was attractive, you would have no problem with him blowing you up and sitting outside your house in a grass suit, which is not the truth. I don't think that any woman would want or need someone to be literally and figuratively stalking them, harassing them, and sending their partners threatening messages through their DMs and by making them nervous that a freaking crazed fan is going to attack them. But here we are. So D.L. Hughley was on that Vlad show, which I'm not a fan of.
TV.
TV.
Of course I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan of it because I feel like, one, it's weird that this white guy always gets all these black celebrities on there. He does not, to me, ask them like proper questions, and it's just very problematic. However, D.L. Hughley was on the show. He was talking to him, and I had not watched the clip of the whole thing until recently, but this is a snippet of Vlad talking to him about the Kanye West situation, and he was like, I thought it was funny because, he was in the bushes and making the memes of the Civil War, And this is D.L. Hughley's response, and I'm curious to get your take on it.
It's never been fun. It's never been fun. That's not
from her house.
Listen, I think that I've watched too many times where things like that happen and a woman or somebody's not believed, and then things escalate.
Yeah.
He is stalking her. You could think it's cute. If it was my daughter, I'd do something about it. I don't think it's funny. I think that you can't write a beat so good that you get to do these things. And society laughs it off because they say, well, she showed her ass all the time and he's this and he's that and that. At a certain point, it is not unusual for men like that. The difference between him and a restraining order is about 20 hits and a couple of $100 million. I just don't think it's funny. I think that Kanye wouldn't get no pussy at all if he didn't write no hits. You know that. Like, he's not the kind of dude. He don't, like, he counts on this mystique.
Right.
And in the end, she got just as much bread as she is.
Yeah.
And why talk to him? Pete Davidson is a scribe. Like, I don't get what the point is for threatening him. Like, if you threatening to do this for your woman, all they gonna do is f her harder.
Okay. So, all right. So, real quick, I just want to say that, nah, man, Kanye is definitely stalking the fuck out of Kim Kardashian, and it's not good fucking behavior. Like, it's terrifying. It's upsetting. I go back to thinking about, like, what about the children? Like, it's not behavior that creates a safe environment for the children.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta imagine they're already living in a sort of tumultuous atmosphere. I gotta imagine. Just because, like, I just know how hard it is when married couples, divorce. You know, like that upheaval of whatever the status quo is tends to be hard on the children. To then add, like, all of this, like, vitriol towards Pete Davidson, and he just came out with a music video for Easy with the game, and he, like it's claymation, and he buried Pete Davidson's head in it and shit like that, and it's just like why, for the love of God, is it that these people with all the money in the world, that have so much money, that have so much access to resources, don't just go to fucking therapy to work out their demons and their evils and shit, like to actually, like, process whatever the fuck they're going through? I'm over here struggling to find a black therapist.
You know,
and I only make X amount a year.
One of my favorite podcasters, his name is Look at Dustin from the Friend Zone. He says something all the time about these people and their shenanigans, these celebrities and their shenanigans, that I really, really deeply agree with. And it's leave us alone. Leave us alone. You have billions of dollars. Why, oh why, are you putting all of your business on social media like you work at the freaking Piggly Wiggly? And I hate it when those people do it. I hate when someone was like, well, we all seen somebody in a relationship do this. Yeah, and I hate it. Now, I would say I hate it because it's stupid. I don't necessarily hate watching the drama unfold, because that's when I'm being, in a sense, nosy, because I'm like, oh, what's the tea? But it's like, once it gets to a point where it is, like, getting violent and someone could possibly get hurt, either Pete Davidson, Kim Kardashian, or both of them, that's when it's like, this is enough is enough, especially with your children.
Why does it even have to get to that point? This is alarming behavior.
Oh no, it's alarming before, but it's like so alarming because of the fact that both of them could be, Pete Davidson or Kim Kardashian could be getting harmed physically, and even his children. I mean, depending on, if a rogue fan decides, I'm gonna do this for Kanye, and tries to attack Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson, maybe maybe North's in the car, or West, or what the middle, Holy Spirit, whatever his middle name is, Peace or something like that. Like, any of these children could be in the car at any point where somebody decides they're going to try to tail them or run them off the road. Anything, it doesn't matter. And Kim Kardashian is not somebody that I wish that I ever had to hear about for the rest of my entirety of life. Like, if it could just be washed out, if you can spotless, bright sunshine of the mind, whatever, take that out, I would be happy. But that's not what the situation is. And so it's just very sad that he has not gotten the help that he needs, that people are continuing to enable him because everyone's still watching that damn documentary and talking about, but it's so good, you get to see Donda. Stop. Leave his mother out of it. And I'm the one person that used to always say, you know, after his mother passed, he had some sort of nervous breakdown, and I can understand why he hasn't been himself. But at this point, go get your meds. And I'm not being facetious. We know that he's on them. Go get them and take them. Because as someone who also has a mental illness, when you don't take your medicine, bad things happen, whether you mean it or not. And you're just out here just free balling the world and possibly getting people hurt. That's it. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have anything else. So where are we now?
Okay, now we're getting into
Fuck.
the lighter part.
Did you send me this?
I did. The same place I sent you the other one that you were supposed to have up and ready.
Odie, you know, like
you don't like it.
Ready with the
You don't like it when people
ready
say
with
things.
the question,
You don't like
so
things. But you could,
maybe chill.
But who could have reminded me to get the question? Because it's not like there's someone here that does not know.
As a matter of fact,
that I have
think I even made mention that, like,
not.
oh, I'm probably gonna bring this up.
You did not. You did not say, Odie, don't forget to get the cards.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that. What I said was, oh, you know what? I'm gonna
decided you wanted to make fun of me.
So
instead of helping the podcast,
cool.
You wanted
We're talking
to
about helping the podcast. Did you give me some sort of time code to? Because we're not gonna listen to all 7 minutes and 59 seconds of this. Right?
We're not. First play. Let me go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought,
yeah.
I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna blame you.
I'm gonna knock you off of this fucking
is a team
high horse
effort.
that you.
This is no. I don't feel in any way because you know what? We are a team. So when one of us fails, both of us fails.
What makes teamwork?
I want you to start at 220 and play 5 seconds of 220.
What's gonna work?
And then
teamwork.
We're going to have
teamwork. All right, 5 seconds of 220.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a second. There's a commercial. Why is there a commercial in the midst of...
YouTube has been doing that. You know that I can't even listen to
right.
my solfeggio frequencies all the way through because they stopped just letting it play.
I thank God, because I've heard those, and they are terrifying.
Just play the clip.
Here we go. By the way, this is Aretha Franklin's granddaughter.
Yes.
Grace Franklin.
For some reason, she's auditioning for American Idol. And this is just a little bit of her singing prowess.
Okay, enough. She kind of looks like Rhonda.
Oh my God, she does. She's baby. Oh my God, she is baby Ron.
Like my friend Rhonda.
Wow, she does.
And I was just like, I'm just watching this. I'm just like, this is, shout out to her hair, well, there's multiple channels at this point. Go look her up.
All right, so we heard that, and now this was trending today because this is Lionel Richie's response, and that is going to start. Go to 5:44. It's going to probably go from Katy Perry to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God, more commercial. Yeah.
Every time you
and
do
it's always
something.
these two fucking
the
boys
car commercial.
Yeah, it's just like they're on a siesta, like siesta. Okay, can't sing that. Sorry.
Yeah, we're not.
Ugh, God damn it! So many good. You said 540.
Yep.
540.
540. Yeah, 544.
544. Here we go.
I think we can find that next level with you. You're a yes.
So this is
She's had one no from Luke Bryan
yeah.
and a
Grace
yes from
Franklin.
Katy Perry.
I love you. And I think the best thing for you in life is to take a shot at going backwards.
He does look like a California
Go back and get a
raisin.
running start and come at this again.
I'm not responding.
He does. Lionel
Are
Richie.
you putting pressure on me?
Listen, she's got stardust. Give her a shot, give her a chance. I'm sure Aretha wasn't Aretha when she walked into the room, but somebody said, yes, I want.
Okay. I have a question. Why the fuck is Aretha Franklin's granddaughter on American Idol auditioning like the rest of these fucking plebes?
I feel like
If
she
she
probably
don't
wanted to
utilize-
just say, I'm going to get this on my own.
That's not on her own. She's in front of Lionel Richie.
But I mean, like, let me just sing for somebody.
To like a fucking coffee shop and start singing some fucking Nora Jones and shit
She's
on a guitar.
15.
Yeah.
She's probably like, I want to do this on my own. She knows that people. I think that if I was a 15-year-old with her her lineage, as Lionel Richie said, then this could be a way of both people seeing her talent and being able to say, like, well, I'm going to try out for this very popular show. People will be able to see me. They'll then want to follow
Put it
your
on-
story,
put
your
it on the
social media, et cetera, et
resume.
cetera, et cetera.
That was not a.
Okay.
I just think she chose a. I just think she didn't choose a good song to sing.
Well, she was singing Killing Me Softly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she also sang Ain't No Way by her grandmother, but we didn't hear that one, so
Yeah.
we're not going to play that. And Killing Me Softly
wouldn't
is
play
a
it.
very difficult song to sing for anyone. Lauryn Hill's extremely great vocalist.
I mean, okay.
So I think that
we in the
her
black community
runs-
keep forgetting that like that was a fucking like original song at one point. Like Lauryn Hill played the cover, and that's why we
Yeah,
are like
but-
that's Lauryn Hill's song.
Isn't it by Dolly Parton?
Is it Dolly Parton?
Hold on, I'm looking at it.
No, it's. I feel like it's some New Jersey, fucking Italian.
Roberta Flack. Wow,
Yeah.
where did I get
Oh wow,
Dolly
Roberta.
Parton?
Yeah, I don't know why you got.
But the black community has always known it was a cover. I don't know. Maybe
No,
you're talking about
I'm not saying the black community knows
millennials.
always a cover. I'm saying the black community has always said that Lauryn Hill has the definitive version. What I'm saying is that
You
there was.
prefer Roberta Flack's.
No, I don't prefer Roberta
okay.
Flack's. No, what I'm saying is that like we're treating this little girl she was doing the Lauryn Hill version over the Roberta Flack fucking instrumentals.
Yes.
She wasn't doing it to like the fucking 808 beats. It's one time,
all
like
right,
not
okay,
doing it. She
all
was
right.
doing it to a fucking piano that was doing the Roberta Flack version of it, you know. But she's over here modulating as if she was Lauryn Hill. That's what I'm saying.
She's 15 years old. The Killing Me Softly song is older
She's
than her.
miseducated.
It's
For
older than her.
sure.
Okay. She was doing the song in the way that she knew, and I think that Lionel Richie made a very great point. Sometimes, and this is not for her, but this is for everybody. Myself and yourself included. Sometimes you need to jump back to jump forward. And it is not, to me, I felt like Luke Bryan gave her the response of like, you're talented. I think you need more time. Katy Perry is like, jump out. We got you. No, Katy, just because you've had your time and you've progressed. She is a young woman. It is better for her to come out here as you can't come out only midway when you have people like Chloe and Haley and Normani who are out here singing.
Yeah.
Okay. And she has a voice where it's like, I don't feel, even, she's young. Her voice still sounds young.
Yeah. She needs more
She needs
like
just more like
practice.
Practice, exactly. Because it's perhaps, a lot of people, they learn to sing in the church.
Yes.
At home, you're singing. You're not necessarily going
Why
to
I don't
singing
go to
lessons
church
all the
anymore.
way.
Because when I started realizing that that's what they're doing up there, So like this is practice to make your voice better, but it's not. And now you're ruining my Sunday. Like this is how I'm gonna start the end of the weekend. Nah, son.
I think that she did her best, and I think
catch
that
the Holy Ghost in my sleep.
we have to.
But
I think we have to
good enough.
Give her grace and be respectful of the fact that she's a young woman.
Yes.
Learning her craft.
Yes.
You can tell from when you go to listen to the whole thing, because we can't play it because of copyright.
Mm-hmm.
You will hear that her voice it's not.
There's something there.
Yeah, like
There's
it may not be
some
where it
talent
needs to be right now because she's still very young.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that if with a good singing coach, even a mid singing coach, I think that she could get herself a good contract. Like, but they're just, she was shy, which was they said, to overcome her shyness, to be able to be that powerhouse. And Katy Perry, I don't know what Aretha Franklin you were listening to or knew about. You must not have watched the Respect movie. I haven't either, but all I do know about Aretha that she has been singing since she came out of the womb. So there was people might have said no to her. It wasn't because she couldn't sing, because she was a young black woman and they weren't saying yes to any of us at the time. Yeah. So
there was racism involved, Katy Perry.
It wasn't because her voice. When they said, she was a tall, dark skinned. I think at that point she might have even had a kid at the time when she got signed. So let's just not rewrite history. But good luck to you. Is her name? Is it Grace?
It's Grace.
Grace. Oh, beautiful name.
Yeah,
Grace. Next year, if you come on American Idol, if you go on The Voice, if you go on any one of these myriad of these shows that judge you for those things, I feel like you'll do really well. I feel like you're going to take this feedback. Perhaps, maybe, you know what? Lionel Richie needs to, he wanted to give all those anecdotes about Aretha. Take her under your wing. Get her some good connections to where she can go to get a good voice coach and learn the different things she needs to learn so she can come back, or maybe not even need to come back, but just do it for the socials. Be stronger than ever. Get the contract, and we can move forward. And you can be not inspiration. What is the word? You can be insurmountable in. The word just dropped out of my head. You could be the reason why Aretha Franklin's granddaughter is a megastar.
Yeah, well, only time will tell. So,
time.
Oh my God,
what is it? And do you think
I didn't realize how many we had left?
We did. We only have 2.
Yeah, we only have 2. Let's do the last one before we do the.
Really? Okay.
That one, yeah, because that'll be relatively quick, and then.
Okay, well,
as a matter of fact, let's do the last one and then go to a break, and then we can start the other one.
Okay, cool.
And then do the thing.
Did you ever watch this movie that came out? I think we were in college, maybe late.
Yeah, we were definitely in college.
Called I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Can I tell you that this, for a time, was one of my favorite movies?
Mm-hmm. I could see it. It was really good.
I cry. First of all, okay, let me preface this by saying this. It doesn't take but so much to make me cry. I have no problem with admitting that. Like, I cry at the drop of a hat. I cry on a dime.
Yep.
Like, it. Okay. Like,
I'm not allowed to co-sign?
No, you can co-sign, but, like, not quickly.
Oh, okay.
Like build up to the co-sign. Jesus fucking Christ. And at some point, gonna need to
charge your computer,
charge this laptop because it is dying. When Will Smith has to kill his dog.
Ugh.
Oh, such a good dog. I wanted a German Shepherd for a little bit of time because this was well after Sweetie, and I was just like, oh, German Shepherds are probably the next best. Probably breed of dog because like they're so loyal and stuff. And then I remembered about the
Nazis.
Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, no, they are loyal.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder they're loyal. They're bred that way. But and also fucking the South.
Yeah. They don't have a good rep.
Yeah, they don't have a you know what it okay. So side note, this might be a tall order. I want black people to rehabilitate the image of German Shepherds the same way that we have rehabilitated the image of pit bulls.
We have not. Pit bulls are still the black people of dogs.
I mean, pit bulls are the black people of dogs.
They get harassed and mistreated and are more likely to be killed. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, they're most likely to be killed in shelters along with black cats and other black dogs. Like real black, like the color of black.
Is that why all fucking hipster white women love pit bulls?
Probably. They always want to be some sort of white savior, so
Yeah.
probably. The reason why they would get them is because they are
trying to
most
adopt
likely to
me.
get killed. They are. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. But I did watch this movie. The only reason why it fell out of my favor was years later.
Mm-hmm.
I realized one, there's a director's cut where which the director's cut is way better, which it has an alternate ending.
Yes, I did see the alternate ending. I haven't watched
and the alternate ending is way better than the actual original ending because I'm just like, what? It makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the ending of the original movie just fucking frustrated me. It's just like, why did you have to you could just why what? Well, spoiler alert.
Speaking of the ending, you know the ending.
Yeah, I do.
You know what happened. Now, will it surprise you for me to tell you that in the sequel that that's planning on coming out, that it's going to star Michael B. Jordan, right?
Michael B. Handsome.
Okay.
Michael B. Sexy.
And Will Smith. Now, I'm going to say perhaps these are my ways I've been thinking about the movie. Either it's going to be like he survives the explosion, Michael B. Jordan saves him and nurses him back to health, or Michael B. Jordan is like his nephew or something. Because from what I remember, he only had that one child, and the one child died in the thing.
Yeah.
Or Michael B. Jordan is just going to be some random that he saw and is, black men love each other and friends and relationships.
Yeah.
We're strong and we can connect with each other.
Yes, let's be dismissive of that.
That's not dismissive. It's just a random plot line that they're going to possibly make.
Right.
And I need to figure out, or what it could be is he is dead because in the end of the movie, spoiler, blah, 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 he dies.
Yeah,
he blows himself up.
He blows himself up. He runs into the fucking glass with the fucking grenade, but the lady is in the corridor or she's in a fucking a fireplace chute or something
yeah, some
to
sort of
survive.
male chute thing.
He couldn't throw the grenade and then get into that fucking chute.
I think that he was. I don't know what it was, but my theory about it is either if he's not dead,
Like he made it more dangerous by
he's going to be a narrator, or you'll see him in flashbacks.
maybe he'll narrate the movie,
which is don't tell me that Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan are starring in it.
Well,
tell me that Michael B. Jordan is starring.
Where Morgan Freeman narrates and he's in the movie, but he's not in the movie because he's just narrating.
I always hate that. It's weird.
You know what? You know what? I have a sneaky suspicion that if he doesn't get the Oscar for King Richard, I think he's just gonna give up. I think he's just gonna be like, you know what?
He got a SAG award.
So,
don't say so to a SAG award. That's a really great award.
I'm sure it is. That's not what he wants.
Well,
you can't EGOT with a SAG.
Can he EGOT any other way?
It's not EGOS.
Okay. Can you?
It's fucking EGOT. And he got a Grammy, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he did get a Grammy for Parents Don't Understand.
Yeah, and
or Summertime.
Yeah, and I don't think he's ever. I'm not sure if he's done anything like for theater. You know?
Did he ever get an Emmy for Fresh Prince?
No.
Maybe. Oh, that's why he probably has the new dramatic Fresh Prince that everyone supposedly is talking about. That they like.
I saw a theory that I absolutely loved. I haven't seen the new because I refused to buy Peacock. I saw a theory that said that like he should be the father. He should be the absentee father of the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That would be good.
And then he comes in and he's does that one episode and leaves and then, well, you know what? I actually don't want that to happen because like this the from what I've been seeing. This new Fresh Prince is very dramatic.
Everyone's been saying it's very dramatic. I haven't watched one episode, but apparently Carlton's doing coke.
Carlton's doing coke.
The Aunt Viv might be fucking.
Ashley
Michael
might
B.
be
Jordan.
gay.
Oh, look at this.
Michael Early.
What did I? Oh,
You
Michael
said
Ealy.
Michael B.
Yes.
Jordan.
Sorry. Well, all these Michaels on my brain.
Okay.
But I want to watch it. But I do not have Peacock until I find one.
I'm not getting Peacock. And this is somebody who likes wrestling, and I know that wrestling is on there. And I'm just like, I'm not. Look, if there's 3 that I don't have Peacock, I don't have Apple TV, and I don't have Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I'm not getting.
I'm not getting them.
No.
And I'm out here trying to fuck somebody who has an account.
Oh my!
And it's hard because no one has those accounts. So it's like, what the fuck?
Too bad.
Like, it's like I already have a Netflix account. I don't need a Netflix account. I wish on dating apps people would just put what streaming services they have to make things easier.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah. This is a perfect segue to the next thing. No, actually,
It's a perfect segue to the break.
It's gonna be the perfect segue to the break. We're gonna take a. Are we done with I Am Legend?
Oh yeah, my thing was I just want to know how they're about to connect the fact that he's dead.
He died. Like I don't know how Will Smith's gonna come back.
He's gonna be a zombie.
Or maybe, you know what, it might be one of those things where like maybe in like a flashback they cross paths like briefly and Will Smith will be in the movie for like 15 minutes before it just is like a Michael B. Jordan movie. Is Michael B. Jordan falling off?
What? He's dating
Lori
Harvey.
When was the last movie
he just did that movie Letter for Jordan by Dana, the story that Dana Kennedy wrote about her partner dying in the war.
Okay.
That Denzel Washington directed. What fell off where? He just shot and wrote an article, or he didn't shoot it, but he wrote an article in Paper Magazine about Steve Harvey and his flamboyant outfits. So
okay, well,
he's
working his butt off. I'm sure he's doing well, and I know that he popped up briefly in the Space Jam 2 movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, we didn't watch that together.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I didn't spend 1 minute on that movie.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. No, we watched it. We watched it.
We did?
We did watch it.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was terrible.
I do not remember that.
Yeah. Of all the movies that we watched together, that movie was the second worst because the worst was the fucking Medea Homecoming. But with that being said, let's go to a quick break and we'll be back with more of the Black and Snurdy podcast.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
We now return to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
All I want to do is see you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman. All I want to be is someone who gets to see a giant woman.
A giant woman.
All I want to do is help you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman. All I want to be is someone who gets to see a giant woman.
A giant woman.
Oh, I know it will be great, and I just can't wait to see the person you are together. If you give it a chance, you could do a huge dance because you are a giant woman. You might even like being together, and if you don't, it won't be forever. But if it were me, I really want to be a giant woman.
A giant woman.
All I want to do is see you turn into a giant woman. I think that might be the next show that I go back and watch from the beginning.
Yeah, it's always a good one. That and Adventure Time. Even though sometimes Adventure Time is weird.
You know what? Fuck that. I think I'm gonna go back and watch Adventure Time.
I have to let enough time go between so that I like not forget the episodes, but the episode's like 5 minutes long, so it's not hard to be like, oh yeah, I remember this. So I do feel like with both of those in conjunction, could be a good depression helper.
Good little girl, always picking a fight with me. You know that I'm bad, but you're spending the night with me. What do you want from my world? You're a good little girl. Da-da-da. They had so much good music.
So many good.
Bad little boy. That's what you're acting like. I really don't mind that you're that kind of guy. And if you are, why do you want to hang out with me? I think I lost the...
You did. It's fun.
All right. Yeah.
This is a good song to sing because we are going to get into our mental health. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I find that Steven's Universe talks about mental health so well that honestly, I feel like 85% of the episodes,
yes,
I'm crying due to some sort of emotional trigger I didn't even realize I had.
Yeah.
So now, as we begin to take a stroll down mental health lane,
our mental health odyssey.
Okay, I had it there, and you had to go in.
Yeah, you went. Yeah, I'm helping you.
You were not. I was done. Or not done, but almost. And then you came in and you tried to just... How's your mental health going? Okay? Because right now you're perturbing mine.
My mental health is not great.
I
said, I'm still looking for a black therapist. I think I found one.
Fingers crossed.
So fingers crossed. Hopefully, I'll be able to set up an appointment in a couple weeks. I just need to get to the 15th, and then I will have a better understanding of my finances for the next month, and then I'll be able to set up an appointment and go from there.
Is your voice going to get continuously higher as you? Well, I mean, that's great. Anything else mental healthy wise for you?
No, that's pretty much it. Just
wow.
I
buckle up.
Okay. So, how are you doing, Odie?
Well, fucking sucks. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're alive. Okay, we're alive. We're thriving. We're thriving. My mental health this week has been so-so. One, I'm annoyed with myself because I had finally had my therapy appointments after 2 weeks of being off. And remember when it wasn't last week, or it was like earlier last week, and I was talking to you about how I've been feeling very anxious, I've been feeling very depressed, and all sorts of, my ADHD trolling me. And we were like, yeah, this is definitely something got to bring up to the therapist.
Yes.
And I had not one, but 2 therapy appointments, and I want to say they might have been the same day. And I forgot to mention that both times.
I believe I was with you when I brought that up over our phone call, and I looked at your face.
Yes.
Saw the reaction.
Yep.
Of when you realized
that I forgot
that you did. How often does that happen?
All the fucking time. If I could have the worst month. Say if I didn't see my therapist for a month. this could have been the most shenanigan-filled month. And when I tell you, if I have one good day, that when I get in there and she's like, how are you doing? I'm like, it's okay. Like, if I don't text her, like, this is some shit we're going to have to talk about. I will legit forget, oh, yes, I have actually been having a really rough time and crying randomly and all these other shenanigans.
I think that you are so used to burying whatever traumatic events happen on a day-to-day, weekly, whatever basis that you literally, like, you take it, maybe you don't process it, but you take it, and then it's just out of your mind onto the next thing, then to the point where, like, it has to, we have to get, like, an excavation crew to, like, dig for the actual problems.
You are not wrong. You are not. I was actually, funny enough, talking about this to my therapist last week, which one of the things we actually did get to is, like, we've been working on my, like, standing up for myself, to mostly standing up to myself, people in power, because even though most people, like, you know, on a regular basis, I really don't care. I do not care when people are annoyed or upset. And this does not mean I will tell those people I don't care. They will 100% from my response, because, like, I just because I don't care about something doesn't mean that I don't care about that person. So I want to make sure that I'm listening and hearing them and giving them the space to whatever, you know, share their grievances and do what I can to change the situation. However, I generally do not care, because I feel like most people say their issues are stupid issues that didn't even, like, it was a personal problem to them. But, like, to me, that's, you know, friendship, relationships, etc. You gotta listen to what people are saying. However, for myself, and this there's so many reasons behind this, but, like, if someone does something to me, whether if it's rude, disrespectful, crosses a boundary, I generally will not necessarily say something to them in that moment. It's something that I've had to work very hard on. It's better when it's in a romantic sense, because I've learned that in relationships that I have to say what I do and do not like early on, or else 5-6 months later down the road, I'm gonna end up hating the person. So I've learned to be more vocal when it comes to that. But in regular everyday situations, I try to, one, give people the benefit of the doubt, because I get really irritated very quickly. And two, if it's a situation that's going to make me uncomfortable, then I'm definitely conflict avoidant in that sense. And so what will happen is people will be doing things to me, and it'll be frustrating and I'm angry, but I may not necessarily tell them. Or if I feel like I've told them enough times and they're still doing it, then it's like, nah, I'm good. And that just, like, talking about how that is detrimental to me, because most often I'm the one that's feeling uncomfortable and upset and frustrated, and this other person is just going on about their business, and it just ends in me, like, screaming at them. It's like I wait until there seems to be the right moment, which means I may not, like, I don't generally blow up on people, but it will be like, all right, we've been having one particular issue all this time and I've been letting it slide. And then because I feel like I don't ever want to blindside someone with a confrontation, I will wait until something happens to bring it up And then, is something interesting in your phone?
I'm listening to you.
You are staring at your phone.
I'm listening to you.
We have had this conversation.
Odie, don't do that.
Many times.
Don't do that. Like I am paying attention.
I cannot feel it.
Oh my
You
God.
see how I'm telling you in the moment?
You seem to not have an issue being able to tell me.
Well, thank you for giving me such a
Thank
safe-
God
Thank
for
you
years
for
of therapy to
creating
help
a
you
safe
get to this
space
point.
for me to tell you my grievances in real time.
And you see how receptive I am.
There you go.
Great. That's fantastic. Can you continue?
Yes. So I've learned that I have to stop holding the things in and waiting for the right moment and just saying it regardless of who they are and what sort of power dynamics there might be. Because it doesn't matter if I'm allowing my boss to talk to me crazy because I'm being compassionate to them because they're building a company. They have all these different things that they're juggling in life.
Well, we know which boss you're talking about.
I didn't say anybody's name.
It's a very unique situation, I would say.
And I can be like, I have found myself being so compassionate to them that then when they're being rude, judgmental, mean to me, that I will just like shut down or not respond or just be like, you know what? I recognize my stake in this. I'm holding myself accountable because at the end of the day, like I'm not trying. If someone tells me something and it's like a work related in that type of dynamic, I'm not. I want to own whatever I'm doing, even if there could have been a reason behind it or whatever the case may be. I want to own it, but I recognize that I don't need to own shit that is not mine. And sometimes in these work situations, people have put stuff on me that is not me. It's just like you're stressed out because you decided to create a company and not hire enough help. And now you're stressing me out about that, but that's not my doing, you know, like, and being able to say that and over communicate my needs, I feel like moving forward, like that's a lesson. I'm like, yeah, I definitely need to do that. Also, Brooklyn was pooping blood. TMI, but whatever. It's fucking scary. I don't know what's wrong with him. Thankfully, he has been a little bit better today. He was no shitting in my room, thank God, or shitting in his crate in my room, thank God. And he pooped before we left, before I left to come over here and record, and there was little to no blood. So I hope that whatever the fuck was going on with him this weekend has been alleviated, because no sentient being pooping blood is ever known to be a good thing.
It's not. There's nothing normal about pooping blood. And if you out there, listener, is pooping blood, please see a health physician, a doctor. Just do your due diligence. So, yeah. I would say definitely don't want blood in my poop.
Okay. All right.
I don't.
Now,
am I wrong for saying
you're not
that?
wrong. You're not wrong.
Jesus.
This is something I wanted to talk about that we didn't get to last segment, but I think that it has some mental health ties, so I feel like it's a good place to start here.
Okay.
So you have heard and also watched Love is Blind.
Yes.
And the premise. What?
No, this is what we were gonna talk about before. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we giving clarifications? I already said it.
No, I agree with you. I don't know what to tell you. It's late.
We're friends.
We're friends. That's how we reset, guys. We reset whenever it gets close to being like, oh, I'm over this motherfucker. Like, no, we're friends.
Okay. So, well, the thing about Love is Blind is it's a social experiment, whether people can match with people without being seen, and that lead to marriage, right? So one thing that I've noticed about it, because now in the second season, is you're in these pods. From what we know, you're in these pods.
Please don't.
What? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to call them?
I don't want to use...
You're in these rooms.
Thank you so much.
And you're in these rooms. And this is the most ridiculous instrumental.
How is this ridiculous? The song is called Love is Blind.
You're in these rooms, you're meeting with people, and from what we found out, you first start off talking for about 15 minutes, and then as time goes on, if there's someone that you like, it's getting more serious, it can extend. Mm-hmm. But you're talking over the course of basically like 10 days.
Yes.
Before, you have 2 weeks or those 10 days to talk to people and get engaged. And if you don't go move on to the next level.
Yeah. Which is a vacation in Mexico and then moving in together and
et cetera,
Chicago or whatever city everyone's living in.
And I'm curious, there's a few things I'm curious about. Do you feel like there is some brainwashing happening because they are living in these spaces without being, they don't, from what I see,
they can't use their phones.
They can't have their
social
phones,
media. Oh.
No social media or anything. From what we've seen, I haven't seen a window, so I want to know where the fuck they're at because we don't even see, like, at least in the circle.
I actually would like that. Like
that's being in a freaking cave.
That's for a little bit at least. Like
no,
those are talking about 10 days and potentially another week of being in Cancun and going on fucking boat rides and diving in caves and shit.
When we talk about like brainwashing techniques, keeping the time.
I would like to see what you would be like without social media around you.
I would be fine. I would love to not have social media. I would love to be able to unplug and not talk about, look at, or scroll.
I would love to see that.
I actually miss
fun to see
going on vacations and not having internet.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to, I don't have, even if I have the impulse.
Technically you could still do that.
Yeah, but you're generally, when I go abroad.
All right, enough of this.
Thank you. If I go on abroad, I'm using my internet for actual use. I need to Google Map or get somewhere on an Uber, and I'm not going to remember to keep going back and forth. The only reason I wouldn't be going on social media is because sometimes when you go abroad, even though you get a 2G or 3G, it's so fucking slow compared to what you would have been in the States that it's pointless because you barely could use it. But I just feel like it's kind of that's an interesting psychological thing to be in a place where you have really no access to the outside world. You are in a heightened situation and there's a lot of dopamine. Everyone keeps talking about they're in love in these pods. That's why I said I need to get on the show. Because they're talking about they're in love, and I want to scream at all of them, this is just the dopamine. You haven't even crossed into the paths of do you actually like this person? On this
show would, the more that because we watch the show together, and the more that we talk about the show, and the more that we watch this show, the more that we talk about you being on this show, the more I think that you would ultimately end up being the villain of the season. I think so. I think you would end up being the villain. I think you would, because you would logic everything. You'd fucking beep boops. You would literally be like somebody proposed to you and you're like, no, we haven't seen each other. We haven't met each other. What are you talking about? I don't
say
know you.
Yes. But I will say
I don't know your FICO score, which that's me. That's actually me. I'm the one obsessed with credit scores.
That I think that if it's only 10 days, don't propose to me on day 5. We need to have a day 7 or 8. Day 7 or 8.
Oh my God.
Then you can propose.
Oh, don't you?
I'm just saying. Because again, dopamine. These are things, as a person with ADHD,
I want you to go on the show.
Always searching for dopamine. I want you to go on the show,
and I want to see you try to fucking logic the shit out of it. Just ooh, you proposed to me on day 9. I can't say yes to this,
You're wrong.
Because I don't think
if I go on that show, I'm
would
gonna
be
be
brutally. You would be
the season winner.
brutally honest.
I'm
with
not brutally
everybody.
honest. I'm just generally
you're
nicely honest.
No, you're not bluntly honest. You're honest to a fault.
I always, when I tell people the truth, I always, you
labor over how to be nice about it, but
nice
you are
as possible in telling people the truth. I am not a brutally honest person because I don't want brutal honesty. I want you to tell it to me with a little bit of sugar on top.
Yeah, okay, Lauryn Hill. Like, you're fucking killing them softly.
Okay, is that not better? Would you rather be killed soft or hard?
Hard.
No.
Just kill me hard.
No.
Just
killing someone softly is like giving them a cyanide pill and they die instantly versus putting little dots in their body of like little needles and letting them drain out.
I'm not going to get into why that was your go-to example.
Because you
killed somebody, haven't you?
No, I just watched, what is that show?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just watching Peaky Blinders and he just offered some guy a cyanide pill and he didn't take it. So that's where it came from. But that's a quick way to die. That's what they give spies, allegedly. I don't know, I'm not a spy. But
like a fake tooth with like a cyanide pill.
Exactly.
So like they chew it and...
That's what all the Nazis had in the war so that if they got caught, boom, 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 you're done. You know, like that's quick. That is killing me softly because you're just done. Versus someone killing you by 1,000 cuts. Because that's painful and it draws it out and it's not necessary. And I feel like if I had to choose, I'm choosing the soft way. And I just want to say that I think that this show, it needs honesty from people so that anyone coming into the room with me is going to know that
that's
they're
gonna
getting
be your audition tape, isn't it?
Before they leave.
I think that it was honest, and if people were on, and like it's just gonna be a montage of you
saying the word honest.
Yes, saying the word honest. You saying honest is the equivalent of Shayna squinting.
Oh my God. Okay, well first, who did you give me your top couple on the show? And give me your most hated couple. It doesn't matter if they're still together. It doesn't matter if they're still together, but just like...
My top, Ayanna and Jarrett, number one, with a bullet. Number one.
Okay.
Yeah, way better than...
I'm not... you can mix and match the couples. It just needs to be a girl and a guy.
No, okay. Thank you.
That wasn't clear in the beginning.
Boo. But like, I love Jared and Ayanna. They mesh together so like they're. You know what it is, and this is why I appreciate the second season more than the first season. They both have strong personalities that don't get lost in each other when they're dating and being together, and they come together to make a unit. Like that first season, I still to this day hate fucking those two who are the poster child for Love Is Blind.
Why do you hate Lauren?
I don't hate Lauren. I hate the fact that Lauren and Cameron is a nothing and a nobody. That Lauren, Cameron is Play-Doh that Lauren can mold and meld into her own little John B. like image. And that's what she has done. She was a fucking content creator. She was a fucking influencer or whatever like that. And she came on. She took this fucking nothing and molded him into, the perfect husband. Now he's everything like that. And he's rapping to my dad like it.
Oh God, that was terrible.
Thing. Like they might as well be Legos because they're the most like fucking constructed couple I've ever fucking seen. Meanwhile, Ayanna and Jarrett, they both individually been through some shit. She admitted that she had gone through some shit, and Jarrett, that motherfucker got stabbed, and you saw the fucking wounds and shit on his stomach.
That was a serious stabbing. When he said he got stabbed, I did not expect that. Wow.
That was up his tummy. And meanwhile, like, and what? I'm supposed to just go over to fucking Danielle and Nate or whatever the fuck his name is, who's clearly like, I don't want to go down that road, but like, yeah, it's just like she high anxiety or whatever like that. Like, she just like makes something out of nothing. It's no, Ayanna and Jarrett all the way. I'm team them more than any other couple in the fucking world. And if I could give a special shout out to one individual, it would be Deepti, because she is beautiful. She's gorgeous inside and out. She deserves so much better, and she got her time wasted by fucking Shake. Fuck him. He and his little black shirt, gold chain, Aziz Ansari, fucking like mannerism ass fucking bullshit. I think it's my aunt. Like, go fuck yourself. And you can go, fuck yourself into an early grave.
Oh.
All right? Like, I'm just...
That's very... a lot. Even for you.
Fuck him. Because he... Like, I would love nothing more than to even just...
Yep.
Go out on a date with DT. She seems nice. She seems like she has a very well-traveled, interesting stories to tell. You know? And Shake wasted her fucking time. Worst couple, I would say, of all of the fucking seasons has to be, well, Kyle and fucking Shayna, because that was...
It was a lot.
It was a lot. Like,
It's too much.
She knew from get-go that she did not want to be with Kyle. Yeah. She knew. She wanted to be with Shane. Hell, like, fucking, like, she, you know, I thought the reunion was funny because it seemed like she was ready to be like, yeah, me and Shane have been talking. And Shane was like, no, I'm not having that. I don't want to talk about that. I do not want Shane might be the underdog.
What?
Because no. Don't don't hear me out. Hear me out. He needs therapy. And he needs to go to therapy. He needs to process his emotions and everything like that.
We're in agreement.
And his behavior is awful. But the fact that, like, he had the sort of cognizance to be like, I know how I'm going to be treated on this show. Even if he didn't do it in the most smooth way, the fact that he was just like, I'm not going to go on this reunion show and be labeled the worst. Like, I'm going to let Shake do that. And I'm going to distance myself from Shake. Why are you letting him sit next to me? Like, he told Shake to shut up at one point. Like, like when they was like, oh yeah, you and Shane have it. He's like, no, I'm not getting into that. We're not.
He jumped the gun though. They weren't even about to ask him that.
No, because he just like I kind of respect it. I respect the idea of like, look, again, if I'm gonna be obviously like a smoother person would have found a way to like, you know, give a non-answer, but he doesn't have those fucking faculties in his two brain cells. Like he
sniffed them away.
But he did the best. He did the best that he could, you know, and that's why I at least give some respect to him.
Okay, well, I, like you, put Ayanna and Jarrett at number one.
Number one.
And the worst couple is Shayna and
Kyle.
Shake. No. I told you.
Shayna and Shake. They dated?
Up the couples, and you said, I know. And I am now giving you my response, and you are now feeling whatever you're feeling because you decided to not listen to me the first time. But yes, Shake and Shayna are the worst. It would have been Shane. However, Shane was I won't say he's way better behaved than Shake, but the reunion really solidified the two of them as villains for me forever, because they're both racist. And, they're both racist. That's the main one. I mean, Shayna's family said they need someone to act like an American.
Shake wants to fuck white women.
He wants to have white babies.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it. Yes. He doesn't want his children to be anywhere near looking like any of his aunties or his mother or his father. He wants them to look like
Fuck
Shayna.
you, Shake.
And it's very, and now on one hand, I cannot 100% fault him because colonization and Asianness is that internalized racism is something that all melanated folks have to deal with. And I couldn't imagine what he might possibly have had to deal with in his Indian community. He's not like super dark, but he's also not very light. So who knows? However, he is a narcissist, or he has narcissistic tendencies that we should all be paying attention to. And there's a really good doctor that I like. I think it's Raja. My computer, of course, just decided to be annoying. I'll put the link in the thing. She talks about narcissism a lot on her YouTube channel and like ways of spotting it, not only in others but yourself. If he's looking for a therapist that looks like his auntie, she's right there for him. If for one person to be talking about looking like your auntie, and I'm curious about this show because I really want to know what sort of psychological tests people get before they go on to make sure that they're stable.
No, it's like being a cop. It's like being a security guard. They're not doing any psychological tests.
Well, it's the thing that worries me about that though is this is not.
It's for ratings.
Having people do a situation where they are
sure
falling in love with somebody else, or what they feel is love with someone else in that short period of time. Like, what do they say? It only takes like 30 days for someone to change your life. And for you to come, there are people who have dated somebody for a month, 2 months, and they never forget them their whole entire life. So even though the time doesn't really do the time is not a lot, but the time and the connection can be multiplied because of the different circumstances. And I think that there are some people on that show, and just in life, who could leave there worse off. Like, for me, I feel like someone like Shane, who has clearly so many different things that he needed to have worked out, he's not someone he should have ever been on the show unless he was having intense therapy, and we know he wasn't doing that. So you put him on the show, you know all these things about him, his dad dying and all those different struggles that he has, and now you put him in a situation where, I don't know about what was being said in his interview, but it was very, very clear to me from the beginning that he has some sort of inferiority complex for whatever reason, and we don't know. He's tall, seemingly attractive, nice build, etc., very charismatic, but it's like all that is hiding a deeper issue that he has. And you could see from the moment he and Natalie were like in a real life together, and he's like, do you like me? Do you like me? And she's just like, and I find Natalie I felt she was very interesting, very funny, but I could see how like some of her comments where she's just joking, and she's like, you're not that cute. Those are things that I've said to someone in a relationship, and not like to the point where they wouldn't have known that I liked them. But I'm a very jokey person. I know that I'm someone, if you have a inferiority complex, I would not exacerbate it on purpose, but I'm also not somebody who is like blowing smoke up anybody's ass like that. So that is something that people, the producers should have scoped that out and been like, well, let's make sure this dude's okay. Because what happens if when she had said no, spoilers, when she said no at the thing, if he had not, tried to harm her because of, how much he felt, I would say, in a way, what's the word? It's like he wanted her he felt obligated to her or entitled to her affections and her love, because even at the time when we were watching him in the reunion, he's gaslighting her about she should be saying that he's a good boyfriend or he was a good guy when they had that argument, and it wasn't just all her. You're the one that told her you hated her. we didn't have the full conversation, but we got a little bit of it, and the bit of it was not looking good on you. So I feel it's a slippery road, and I'm hoping that we can go through another 2 or 3 seasons without someone having a mental breakdown.
Okay, I think so. Like, I think, well, one, there's definitely going to be like another 2-3 seasons. This is now going to be.
As long as no one dies, they're going to continue doing it.
I don't think, obviously, like, yes.
And even honestly, actually, take that back. If someone kills somebody else on the show, I don't think they're going to, I don't think that would be enough impetus for them to be like, nah.
I still want to see you on this show.
I'm going to sign up.
If for no other reason
I'm going to sign up
to watch these. Like, I'm curious what music scores they're gonna have under you. Like, are they gonna have like the goofy doop 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 doop? Like, like I can't see you with like a dramatic score. Just like I also just don't. I'll keep that comment to myself.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, moving on.
The last thing though about this whole show is Deep T and Kyle maybe they're maybe trying.
I hope that they are trying to date.
She told reporters
Still
that
don't think that he should be with Kyle, but I do think that they should at least have
try. Let's see. She said that they're seeing how they could put their friendship could go, and I think that's a good thing. And
Deep D is way too good for Kyle.
I just hope that everyone is happy.
It's just those ears.
And can you still not?
It's look. I understand. I'm not trying to body shame anybody. I'm just saying that, like, because obviously he's gonna hear this.
Maybe you don't know where he could be listening to podcasts. Oh my God! Someone said something really funny, and they were like, "Oh, Morgan Jenkins on Twitter." She was like, "If we keep talking shit about Shake, he's gonna end up with a podcast."
No, oh
and
my
I
God,
100%.
It's gonna be the Shake Shack, the Shake.
Oh
my God, it's gonna be the Shake Shack.
No, I hope not. I hope not. Please don't. And I also hope that you have that recording I sent you earlier from SNL loaded up.
Oh my God,
for later. But well, that was all I had to talk about during. I was curious if I guess my main question for you, main takeaway from talking about this in this section is: do you think people's mental health should be a ratings ploy?
Yes, because
are you being serious?
It's the almighty dollar.
Are you being serious,
honey?
Or what? I don't know.
No, I'm not being serious.
Okay, great.
No, I don't think people's mental health should be exploited for fucking ratings or for clicks or anything like that.
Do you think that people's mental health is being exploited for ratings on Love Is Blind?
No, I
don't.
I don't think it should be.
But do you think it is?
Oh, for sure. There's a bunch of lonely ass motherfuckers who are going on a show to potentially marry someone they've never seen before, and then they spend 3 weeks with them and have to decide in front of their friends and family if they're gonna get married, and they have to fucking constantly bring up the fact that they were in pods. The fact that they're all mentally ill. They all need therapy. They all need help. But as somebody who is currently going through a bit of a period of, isolation, I will say, because I don't like the term lonely. They're all fucking. They all want somebody. They all they want somebody, and they felt like this was the way to get it. And only a few of them got it.
Only 2 of them.
I said a few.
Is that a few?
4 is a few.
Is there only? Okay.
Yeah.
2 couples. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I love this show because it's very interesting to me to see the sociological aspect of it. It's like cultural anthropology. But I do
Just see you dramatically walking down the hallway going into.
I would never,
rooms.
but they're gonna slow me down.
Yeah,
It's
they're
gonna
gonna slow
look
you
like
down.
I'm dramatically walking. But I am curious how much of a Black Mirror documentary are we going to turn into in these situations, because I don't know if you've ever heard about that first family that was the first ever reality show family that came. It was in the 70s. They followed this family, husband, wife, like 3 or 4 kids. I think one of the kids on the show in the family comes out as one of the sons comes out as gay. There was
This was in the 70s?
yeah, it was like late 70s, early 80s. And like it was the first reality TV family. And I don't even know if they were even, it was one of those things where they were just like following the family and filming them like an Office style thing. And it turned into this massive situation. And when you read about the way the family fared, they did not fare well. And I wonder if we have not ever really learned those lessons that we should have from these early social media or reality TV shows, and we are just marketing or commercializing people's feelings in a way that is just as harmful as someone like Kanye West, stalking his ex-wife, but nobody cares because it's getting a lot of money and ratings, and it's a Balenciaga commercial basically every time they come out. But like, how we are causing these people, potentially causing them harm.
Well, you don't have to wonder, because I have the answer. No, we haven't. We haven't learned these lessons. Yes, we are definitely causing them harm, but it's all for the mighty brand. It's all for branding. It's all for marketing. It's all for the dollar. That's our fucking society. That's our culture, Like, it's fucked up. It's dirty, and it's gross, and it's not getting any better anytime soon.
Well, I think this is a good time to segue into other things. We're not getting better anytime soon.
Would you say our gripes?
Our gripes, our
grinds,
our issues, our problemas.
Bringing it. What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
Oh my God, we can't both be on our phone at the same goddamn time. And you're at least charging your phone. Mine is dying, killing me softly dying.
Well, you're in your home, so.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So what's grinding you? What's getting in your gullet?
Well, this, of course, the Ukraine-Russia situation is horrible, but I think was this my grinding last week of the African and Caribbean. Well, there's the black students.
Yes, it was.
Well, I'm continuing that, but it's kind of a little different. This week, I'm very upset still that there are Africans and black people in general being mistreated over there. We talked about Maurice Cheeks, the pro basketball player. I mentioned him. And I talked about Brittany Griner, who was stuck there because his Ukrainian pro basketball team basically was deuces and didn't set up any way for him to go home. So just being left in the lurch. But I've been seeing a lot of posts by black people where they're like, well, fuck Ukraine, fuck what's going on over there. Like, that's nothing to do with us, not our business. And I just would like to remind people that there's no way to really and truly distinguish yourself in a world war. Because nobody cares whether you're black, what country you're from, or any of these things when there's a war happening. Because as much as you might be like, I don't care, I don't want to that's not my business, If something escalates to a certain point, is everybody's business. So it is 100% wrong for people in the Ukrainian army and military to be blocking people and telling them to wait to the back or that they need to walk to get to the next safe spot, et cetera, et cetera. But again, like I mentioned with the military in Russia, those people are committing these atrocities. The citizens are not. Same thing with Ukrainians. There have been several, notices, bulletins, just firsthand accounts of the Ukrainian people helping helping them there, them going into other countries and people being willing to help, and also them unfortunately going to other countries and still being given second-class citizen treatment. Like in Germany, in Frankfurt, in Berlin, there have been people volunteers who are people are still being treated poorly, and that happens, but we can't let one atrocity cause us to forget kind of the bigger picture here, and I think that is something that we are going to have to work on because anti-blackness is not going away, so we have to figure out how to not juggle. We don't need to accept anti-blackness, but we cannot accept anti-blackness while also not accepting, children being murdered on the street just because people that are being given orders are choosing to give them bigotedly, if that makes sense. So that's just been what's been grabbing me. And also Brooklyn being sick is grabbing me because that's going to cost money. And I'm hoping that he doesn't have a perforated bowel and or cancer.
Well, much like every single week, your stuff, very large. Mine, relatively small and petty. Scraping me, I will say this. The world is starting to open up, and everybody is starting to go out, have fun in the streets and bars. Mm-hmm. Personal space is starting to be a thing that is invaded again. Mm-hmm. Remember when COVID started and if you got on the train, there was no one on the train, or maybe there was one other person, but they were on the other end of the car, and
yes, I missed it.
There was just so much isolation, and even when the restaurants and bars started opening back up, everybody was far away from each other. Now it's starting to get back to where everyone is just a degular person.
Yep. I do not like it.
I'm not a fan of it either. I hate. As somebody who is social and who loves hanging out at bars, I do not like, because I'm a sociable person, I don't like chatting up random bar goers, because inevitably I will always end up hanging out with the drunk guy who's there at the end of last call.
Yeah.
Who is way too drunk, who is using the bar as an oasis from whatever bullshit is happening in his life. Mm-hmm. And boy, oh boy, you can smell every single drink that they ordered in life. Not even off the menu, but in life, on their breath. What I'm saying is this. Bar goers, bring a breath, man. Bring a gum. Bring a Dentine Ice. Bring a Trident. Bring a Winter Fresh. Bring a fucking red, whatever. Any. I was thinking of
they still sell Big Red? I haven't seen
Big
it.
Red, yeah. I was thinking of Big Red, but you know what? My dad loves cinnamon. He loves the smell of cinnamon and cinnamon scents, and I'm just like, that's not a good smell. I don't
like it. Cinnamon brings prosperity into your home.
But you have a fucking type, so of course.
What does me liking cinnamon have to do with a type? It's a good smell.
You would totally love a dude who's like, my gum is big red.
What?
And it makes sense.
You're
It actually
delusional.
does make sense. I'm
You're
not going to get into it on this
right
podcast,
now.
but it does make sense.
Let's continue.
Use context clues.
I'm not. Go on with your statement.
Please, if you're going to talk to somebody, please don't have harsh halitosis breath. Like, don't talk to me. Or just don't talk to me. That's also an option. That's
a good
a
option.
beautiful option. Please, leave me the fuck alone. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to nobody at the bar. I just want to hang out at the bar with my friends. I want to talk to the bartender a little bit. And I want to be left alone.
And that's your right.
I don't want to, like, I am much like that one white girl who saddles up at the bar and draws or whatever and everything like that. Like, she clearly, like, is like, I want to be left alone. And I'm just like, well, you're in a public space. I get her. That makes sense to me.
When you said drawers, I was thinking something completely different.
Underwear.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably has Invader Zim goth underwear. Hot Topic bullshit. But yeah, so that is my gripes. What's next?
Well, now that we've finished with our gripes, let's talk about what's making us feel good.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
All right. So, what's been making me happy this week? Well, one, I think that this is an every week thing, doing this podcast. Number two, I hired a virtual assistant who is not really virtual. Sometimes they're going to be IRL with me, but I hired that one. And things have been going well with work. This contract just seems it's going well. So I feel like this is, I'm as best as can possibly be with the circumstances. And, I don't think I mentioned this. My articles for that Very Well Mind special issue came out. So I'm excited about that. What about
fantastic. I have some work-related goodness that's starting tomorrow.
Okay.
Or today technically.
All right.
I hopefully will see that through and move forward accordingly, but it gives me positive feelings in my stomach.
That's good. I'm happy about that.
I would elaborate, but I don't want to talk about it until like I actually do it and then the aftermath.
Yes, and that's good. Is that it?
To be continued.
TBT. TBC.
Yeah, TBC.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. So, that is everything that's happening good with my week, and we will come back next time with more of this podcast. Thank you for listening. Take it easy.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorice is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's That's OD, THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember? Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.